Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pierre Aberge, the Daily Trader, and we are live. We are going to take a look today at many stocks. We are going to take a look at Tesla, Rivian, Xpeng, NIO, Palantir, Nvidia, the stock indices, gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ripple. Incredible. So we are going to look at all of that from a technical analysis perspective so that we can look at the facts and not get too much sidetracked with all of the news, the positive news. Sometimes it's a negative news, which news is going to win. So we are looking at the actual facts. So since we are live also, you can comment, ask questions, make comments in the comment section, and I will be looking at them. So let's just start. So I have been away from it for a couple of days. I was on vacation and now I'm back. So it's interesting to see what has happened this week. So Tesla closed up $3.15, 1.3%, closed at $245.34. Post market, we seem to be up by 19 cents. Let's look at what we have on the chart. The chart is going to show us the patterns that are at play with the stock. We absolutely need the chart to understand what is happening. If not, the stock market is just a thermometer and the numbers are just going up and down in a random fashion. But when we lay down the stock prices through time, then we are seeing interesting patterns that last a long time. And first, let me say that Tesla is still in a downtrend. It has been in a downtrend since November 2021. I know I see it all the time. I see it all the time because it's true. It has been in a downtrend since 2021. And it has been going down ever since. So that's the rate of descent of Tesla stock. Within that rate of descent, yes, we have some moves up. We can make money on those moves up, that's fine. But overall, this is still going down, and we had the proof recently. We had the proof at the earnings call. Remember earnings call on Wednesday, July 19th. The next day, boom, the stock came down. It did not break our downward resistance. I'm talking about this is a line that has been in play and has been respected by Tesla since, well, over a year. So that's pretty strong in terms of pattern. So this pattern has not been broken. So the stock is just going down. It stabilized a little bit. Remember last week, it was stabilizing above 255.85. So it meant that we had buyers that were willing to come in at that price to buy some stock. And they were propping the stock up a little bit. But then we had the sellers that were also quite strong and were pushing the overall price down. And then we had the showdown between the buyers and sellers, because basically this is what we are looking at here. The showdown, the tug of war between the buyers and sellers. So the tug of war was won by the sellers. And then, starting on Friday of last week, is that Friday? No. Sorry. I'm all mixed up. So Monday of this week, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we started the week lower than 255.85. The buyers are no longer there anymore. So the buyers are retreating. This is just like a war, a turf war. The buyers are retreating, and we have been retreating. And we are right now above the double support that we have. So the double support, let me just double check that things are right. So the first support that we have is at 240.89, and then we have a second support at 238.11. So these are the two supports that we have right here, and this is what is holding the stock price so far. So we had this little downward trend that started basically on July 20th after the earnings call, and the stock has been respecting those two lines very, very well. Look at this. It's been respecting that very, very well. And now we are at a junction between these two lines. So the stock is going to have to decide, are we going to break lower than 240.89 and continue down, respecting our downward trend that we have right now? Or are we going to respect the support and then break those downward resistance right here? So nobody knows what is going to happen. I don't know. I don't need to know, because when one of these two events happens, then I'll know. Well, first I'll see it, and I'm going to be doing a video on that day, on the close. We are going to see it together, and then we can decide if we want to act or not. But this will be a significant event. So if we break 240.89 and the 238.11, then this is a sell. So this is going to be bearish, and we could be going down to 217.65. This is the first support that we are going to encounter. And then the second support that we are going to encounter is this bullish channel support that has been in place since the beginning of January of this year. So either of these two things are going to be in play. If we are going to bounce on the bullish channel support, we are talking about just a little bit over $200 for Tesla. So 205-ish, almost 205. So this is one scenario. On this channel, I don't tell you when to buy and when to sell. I tell you what I see in terms of the pattern, and I'm telling you if we are breaking 238.11, this is a bearish pattern. If we maintain ourselves above 240.89, this means that we are going to break these two downward resistance. Then it means that Tesla is strong enough, the buyers are there enough, that the sellers are not going to win anymore, and this will mean that the stock is going sideways. It won't be ready to be bought yet. Even though we break these two downward resistance, if this is what happens. In order to buy a stock, we need a little bit more criteria, and what we are going to need is going to have a break of 255.85, and we are going to need to have a stochastic, a 21-day stochastic, not the regular 14-day stochastic, but the 21-day stochastic will need to be above 60. So if we have stochastic over 60, if we close on the daily chart over 255.85, then we can start thinking that we have de-risked Tesla stock enough that if you want to, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you want to, you can then get back in for a little bit of a swing up that could lead us back to the downward resistance that we had. So maybe something like $283. So basically, this is what it is with Tesla in terms of technical analysis. Let me just remove some of these things right here. And if we take a look at our indicators that we are also looking at on top of the trend lines, we are looking at MACD. So MACD, we have one line of MACD that is negative. The second line is still above zero. When we have the two lines below zero, that's another bearish indicator. So that's the last thing that we had in terms of indicator, because stochastic below 60 is bearish. We had the MACD crossover bearish. So this is when the green line goes below the red line, so that's a bearish sign. And we had the bearish sign June 26th. So we had that right here. It does not mean that we need to obey it, but this was one indicator that turned bearish a long time ago, and it turned out that it was not so wrong. In terms of RSI, we still have a decreasing RSI as expressed with this red line right here. So all of our indicators are showing that it's bearish, and this is exactly what has been happening for the past 1 week and a half, let's say. And the MI also, our long-term indicator is also bearish. So, you know, this is what it is. But right now, I'm going to just summarize in saying that it's a fight between this support and these resistance. So let me take a look at the comments a little bit before taking a look at the VIX, Rivian, and other stocks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you very much, Berlin. Thank you very much, AL. Thank you, SC Python. Hedge funds are not selling. But so far we are still good. If we are above 240, then it means that the selling stops. Ok, penses-tu que ça peut repogner 400? Yeah, I don't do predictions. I don't do predictions because I just look at the trends. I look at the trends and I follow the trends. If we try to predict where the Tesla stock is going to be, this is hard. But I can tell you that this is a great company. Tesla is a great company. So I think eventually it should be going back up. But there are so many bad things in the economy. There is the inflation, there is the high interest rates, and people have a little bit more fear. And all it takes for the stock market to go down is for people to be afraid. Whether or not the company is great, if people are fearful, then they are going to maybe sell a little bit of stock and maybe not buy when they wanted to buy, and that's enough to make the stock market move. So this is why on this channel we are not looking at the fundamental news that much, because there's only a correlation between the fundamental news that we see and the stock market reaction. And the best example of that is right here. So we had a great earnings on July 19th, 14% earnings surprise. That's fantastic. And some revenue surprise. So everything was good fundamentally with Tesla, but then some other things, the margins, scared people a little bit. So, you know, it takes, the stock market is very, very fickle because it's humans with emotions that are in the stock market. So when we are looking at the stock, we are looking at those patterns. And when we see a break in pattern, then we see that there is a significant change in the behaviors of the buyers and sellers in order to decide if we want to get in or not. So that's it for Tesla. Let's take a look at the VIX. The VIX is influencing also all of the stock market and also Tesla. So the VIX is down today 0.11. That's 0.69% down, closed at 1584. So we had been trading, so the VIX basically is the fear factor of the S&P 500. So the higher it is, the more downward pressure the stock market seems to be under. And yeah, this has been quite low right here. And then we started breaking last week above 1485 right here. So we started going up, and the stock market did not like it because things started to fall down. And now we are maintaining ourselves quite high right here. So this line right here should be red because this is a resistance. So we have a support at 1485. So we need to check this. If we don't break below 1485, then this is going to tell us that there's still a little bit of fear in the market. So we can use this to tell us if we want to short Tesla. If Tesla goes lower than what is the number, 244.89 if I remember correctly, and then the VIX is going higher, then we have more chance that Tesla is going to continue down. If the VIX stays the same, then the chances that Tesla is going to continue down are a little bit lower. And if the VIX is going lower while Tesla is also breaking 244.89, then it will be a little bit more risky. So this is why we are looking at the VIX, because this is giving us a bit more context as to what can happen with Tesla. Let's take a look at Rivian. So Rivian is continuing its way down. We are down 44 cents, 1.97%, closed at 21.91. So this congestion zone that we were in last week is no longer valid. So last week we were between 23.59 and 26.91. This is where the buyers and sellers were kind of fighting it off. And this week, well, actually yesterday, we broke lower than 23.59. So we are no longer going sideways. So if you still had some Rivian stock and were hoping for Rivian to bounce on 23.59, if I was in that position, if I had been in that position, I would have sold, because if we cannot hold a support with a stock, my philosophy is that we should get out of that stock and let it drop. Let it drop. And then we are going to see when it starts to go back again. We have our buying criteria. We have our 3 de-risking criteria. And once they are met, we are going to get back in. So yes, it's possible to time the market, but not in advance, but see it when it's time right now to get in. So this one is a goner for now. It had a nice run. And this is a goner for now. We don't have stochastic over 60. We have a stochastic at 6, so this is pretty low. And all of the indicators are really starting to turn, and the MI is close to turning bearish. Let's take a look at Xpeng. Well, pretty much the same thing with Xpeng. I sold my position a little bit higher. I had set a stop. I had set a stop at 18.12. If it was going to, well, I was willing to give it a drawdown to 18.12. It bounced on it. It bounced on it Wednesday, August 2nd, on the 3rd, and then stayed on it for 2 more days, and then it started to go down. So this is where I got out of that one. And right now, the same thing as with Rivian, we failed to stay within the congestion zone right here. We broke lower. So, okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's it for now. And we can see if we can get back into this eventually. There's the earnings call Friday. So is this? No, this is next Friday, next week. Friday, August 18. So maybe this is going to give it a bounce. There's some possibility that it can bounce on 1523. So 1523 was a congestion zone that was used not too long ago, and there was some fights between the buyers and sellers right here. So it's possible that we come and bounce on 1523. So Xpeng was down 16 cents, 0.94%, closed at 16.78. Post-market, we seem to be up a little bit. Let me look at NEO. So NEO is struggling. It's not as bad as the other two. It's still struggling. So we are in this congestion zone between 1590 right here and 1353 right here. So we are still in play. Well, let me tell you the number of the, we have a double support right here. So the second double support is at 1325. Look at where we closed. So if this is not the perfect line, I don't know what is. So if we break 1325, then we are no longer going sideways. So it is time to get out of that one. I'm still in that one, and I'm gonna be watching tomorrow if I need to get out or not. For NEO, we are still in this bullish channel. So we got a little bit excited because the bullish channel that we have right here is telling us the rate at which the stock was going higher. And then we got some excitement and we broke that resistance super high, and then we are starting to come down. So And by the way, this is what Tesla did in the past. This is what Tesla did. Tesla did exactly that. Exactly that in 2020. So this is something that happens. So Tesla in March of 2020 started to go higher and higher, and we were into a bullish channel right here, and then we got a little bit excited. We went faster, 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 and then it took from February 2021 to May of 2021, it took 3-4 months for Tesla to come back down and resume on the same slope it had started. So, you know, this pattern of excitement happens all the time. And my way of dealing with this is that I am enjoying every minute of that excitement. But then because this is because this is off pattern, because this is an exception, when we stabilize into a congestion zone and then drop below that congestion zone, this is where I sell. And then I'm gonna let the stock go back to the support, and then we can enter again after it has broken its downward resistance and horizontal resistance and stochastic over 60. You know the drill. Then we can get back in. So basically that's the philosophy. Okay, so NEO, where was I with NEO? So NEO, yeah, so NEO is is calming itself down a little bit. Well, maybe, sorry, if we break 1325, yes, it's going to be calming down. If it stays above 1395, it could be continuing like this, and then maybe resume after it touches this important support. So we'll see what happens. Palantir, sorry to say, but Palantir, if we zoom out a little bit, so Palantir was and still is into a big downward trend. This is the downward trend for Palantir. We broke that trend. We broke that trend once right here, July 19th. Broke it again, July 28th. But we just cannot stay outside of the big downward trend, and now we are coming back right into it, and we are stabilizing above 15. Why 15? Because 15 was a support in the past. The buyers have memory. So we are coming back on 15 bucks, right here on 15 bucks, and we'll see if it stays there, but I would not touch that with the 10-foot pole right now. Why buy something that has a hard time going sideways? You know, it was above 16 bucks not too long ago, and now it's at 15. So this is not the time to buy. If you want to buy and hold because you are an investor, I am a trader. That's the difference between a trader and an investor. A trader does not like when a stock starts into a downtrend. He does not like to hold that stock, because it does not make sense to him to hold something that's dropping. If it's dropping because it's just a small correction within the bullish channel, that's fine. But if the trend has changed and the trend is now bearish, then why should I be the bag holder of those stocks when everybody's selling and the price is dropping? So it's just easier to get out, keep the profits that we have, and let the stock go down and then buy back. So, well, this one is not ready to buy yet. Let's see if it stabilizes above 15 bucks. Another important support is at 1441. So if it breaks 1441, then this is going to go way down. So this is where we should draw the line. I'm going to put a 2-pixel line there. Nvidia, we had a nice run on it right here, but then it broke outside of the bullish channel. And now it's into a bearish channel, and that bearish channel, and let me just make this clearer. This is the bearish channel it is now in, and this rate of descent is not satisfactory for Nvidia. It seems to want to go even faster. So So that's another, you know, this is something I'm not holding anymore. This is something I'm not holding anymore. You make your own decisions. So let's look at the stock indices a little bit quickly. So QQQ still in its downward channel, looking a lot like Nvidia. Huh? The pattern is pretty much the same. We are still in an overall bullish channel. So, you know, there's no crash yet. There's no crash yet here. This is still a correction. Dow Jones, look at this. This one is quite strong, I would say. So Dow Jones up 0.15, but look at the pattern here. We had some support and resistance at 34,690 not too long ago. We broke that, and we are still in our bullish channel. It's close to getting outside of it, but until it's outside, it's not outside, it's inside. So far, it's still inside its bullish channel. Stochastic is weakening a little bit. We are at 61, so maybe we are going to get out of this channel and lose that 35,112 support. We'll see. It's not lost yet. S&P 500, SPX. This one had a pullback. This one is outside of its bullish channel, so it is just going sideways right now. We are above 44.54 for SPX, so maybe it's going to stabilize there a little bit. But the stochastic is extremely low. So as soon as it breaks 44.54, then it's going to go back down to 43.24. So if it breaks that, then this is not good news. Nasdaq is still into its bullish channel. This is the bullish channel. We went on the resistance side, and now we have a downward channel right here. So maybe we are going to start looking to get to the support. So the excitement is getting over, and we are starting to go back down. Physical gold, gold lost 1508, so this is a goner. I would not touch that at all until we break these downward bearish channel. And you know the drill, or the new people, you are going to catch our drill very fast. And silver, it's not well, it's going down pretty fast. It's still sideways from yesterday, but if we look at this move down right here outside of the bullish channel, this is not going places. Well, the place it's going to go is 761. That's the next support. And let's finish up with Bitcoin. Bitcoin still maintaining itself quite well above 28,817. And we see that stochastic started to go higher than 60. We just briefly came back down. So there's a little bit of strength that is being gained by Bitcoin right here. Look at the MI. Look at the MI. It has a cross, a bullish cross. The green line went above the red line. So this is a positive sign. So we are starting to see some bullish momentum a little bit. You know, this is not groundbreaking, but we are starting to see something. So if we start breaking 29,838, stochastic might be over 60, so it might be okay to start buying back into Bitcoin soon. Not yet. We need to wait until facts happen, but soon. And last one I'm going to do is Ripple. So Ripple was into this big downward channel. Broke, what did it break right here? Let me just tell you what this number is. So that's 54 cents. So 54 cents is important for it. Let me just, so we are still below it. So we are below 54 cents and we don't have stochastic over 60. So before getting back into that one, I would need to see it above 66 cents. This resistance right here, I would need to see it above it. And I would need stochastic over 60, of course. So this is not there yet. Okay, so I covered everything I usually cover for today. So let me just finish up by looking at your comments and maybe answering some of them. Well, thank you very much, Tesla to Mars. That's very nice. When Xpeng went up, volume was high. When it went down, the volume was low. Do you consider this in your analysis? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. What can I say about this? It doesn't. Yeah. We don't need volume for a stock to go down. We don't need volume for a stock to go down. It can still go down quite fast without volume. It's nice to have volume when it's going up, but it's not required that much. This is what I'm gonna say. Thank you, William. Thank you, Muton. So great. So thank you very much, everybody. So I do a video every single day of the week. Most of the time they are live like this, and sometimes they are going to be a recorded video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you are going to join me tomorrow. And I will tell you, well, I will wish you a great evening, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.